I'm Allie.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the Poor Life Choices Podcast, or PLC Podcast.
Going on 17. May I have some wine? No. Cuckoo. Sorry.
I actually learned that Maria in Sound of Music is considered a manic pixie dream girl. Well, if you think of okay, so what is a manic pixie dream girl? It is a girl. Cool. But manic pixie dream girl.
Go ahead.
Is a girl, okay, so in your typical manic pixie dream girl movie, you have a male protagonist who is down on his luck. He's just been through a divorce. It's like, he's down. He's upset. He's melancholy. He's living, he's in a rut. And then you have this magical girl who just shows up as quirky.
She's so
and
magical.
Independent. And she's this absolutely attainable, completely available, attainable creature that he has to then make himself, realize that there is life outside of his rut that he's in to try to attain this quirky, fun girl. But she doesn't change at all. Nothing about her. There is no story arc to this manic pixie dream girl.
So she's dancing in the garden.
Yeah.
For the whole thing, and he changes to suit her better?
Yes.
Or someone goes, you're not good enough for her, so he changes who he is to get her, kind of a thing?
Like Scott Pilgrim. There's the girl who's super amazing. I don't know, I've only seen the movie once. But
it's a movie?
Yes.
I have never heard of it.
Oh.
So, the look was that.
Yes. But there's a
model.
Jersey State or
was
Garden
it
State.
Oliver Twist? Was it Oliver Twist or that one where he goes to the house? There's the girl. She says, "You're not good enough for me." So he goes and educates himself, becomes rich, comes back, and she's married to some bum. What book is that? Is that Oliver Twist?
Is that Great Expectations? I want to say it's Great Expectations.
I don't know.
Has part of that.
But that was the whole thing, and then he got real pissed off, I think, because she married beneath her by the time he got back.
No, maybe it is Oliver Twist.
I don't know.
That sounds really sad, though.
Life. Honestly.
Right?
Honestly, it's life. What are you going to do?
Julie Andrews as Maria Von Trapp. She's a manic pixie dream girl, because she doesn't have any story arc at all. She starts out, I'm upset because I'm in the nunnery. And then
I don't belong here.
So I'm going to go off
and
find a family. And
this rich family needs a nanny.
Yep. And so then she goes and shows the family that you can have fun, and here there's life outside of these walls, and there's singing, and there's dancing, and there's all this stuff. And then
kids, look at those hills.
I know.
We're going to sing.
They're alive.
With the sound of music.
Right. And so then I can't remember the dad's name for the life of me. I want to say Hans, but that's every...
It's not Hans Gruber. It's not Die Hard, okay? Hans Gruber.
But yes, he changes and realizes that there is life outside, and...
My wife has died. There's another woman in my life. Oh, there's two! Huh. The Nanny. I've seen that movie.
It never ends well-ish. Sometimes it ends.
Depends on the ending.
Usually the rich person ends up getting screwed in that one. Usually it's the nanny who's The
nanny gets fired, the wife gets pissed, the husband deals, and blackout.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of American movies. Rom-com. Woo.
Woo. Were you done with the Pixie Dream Girl thing?
I am done.
I was kind of random. It was kind of cool.
Sorry.
That was good.
You got excited.
It's good. I got excited. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll settle down over here a little bit. Julie Andrews? Really?
Yes. I can't remember what you mentioned, but... you were about 16 going on 17.
And that... Oh, boy.
We're talking poor life choices here.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
It's kind of in the name.
True story.
All right, so what constitutes as a poor life choice, Allie?
I don't know. So, I guess,
Well,
all right.
You don't know.
I know.
You've been doing all these hashtags, and whenever we hang out,
I throw it around like a...
You're like, oh my god, hair, not good, hashtag PLC.
No, it's never a hair PLC. I am not that kind of a girl, and you know this.
I do, but it's so funny to watch your face go, I'm not that kind of a girl.
Oh my gosh.
And your voice changed to like demon.
Anger.
Oh my god. Oh, stop it, Josh. Actually sounds really good on these.
I would say...
burn you in the fires of hell.
That would be a poor life choice.
Oh, yeah.
No,
definitely. Okay, so...
not.
So we're calling this podcast the Poor Life Choice Podcast because of all the PLCs you've been throwing around and, oh my gosh, poor life choice, this and that, which we'll get into later on the podcast. But why are you talking so much PLC? What's going on? What is a PLC versus just a bad life choice? What is going on?
Well, okay, so my definition of a poor life choice would be something that... Okay, so I broke up with my boyfriend, and all of a sudden... Oh, not aw. It was like, hooray. Thank goodness. Because now I can go off and make all of these, like, poor life choices without being so concerned with, hey, you know, I have somebody that I have to come home to. I have somebody who's, like, paying attention to my life that I actually have to care for.
Somebody cares about me.
Now that I don't have
so I
anyone.
can't jump down this chimney right now. I can't do that.
I can't go out and be reckless.
This biker wants me to get on the back of his bike. I have a boyfriend at home. I probably shouldn't.
Exactly. Those kinds of things. So it's not... I wouldn't say that poor life choice is something that would get you fired from your job. Okay. Potentially killed. But, I mean, you can't... The whole definition of an adventure is something that has a little bit of life-threatening aspect to it. It's not... An adventure isn't I went down to Hannaford or Hy-Vee and I got groceries and then I came home. That's not an adventure. Now, if you went down to Hy-Vee and your car caught on fire, that would be an adventure. Because there's an element of, this is a good story. This is a good story. Your car caught on fire. You had to drive it into the river to get it to stop burning. There you go.
So a poor life choice is like a journey or an adventure.
Right.
Like you, instead of driving, you walk to work and something happened or multiple things happened.
You're hitchhiking
on the way
to
there.
work and a stranger picks you up who you don't know at all. I think that, like, going out and experiencing life can be a poor life choice. Like, going out and getting outside of your comfort zone can feel like, you know, this is a poor life choice because I don't know what's out here. This could very well end badly.
Can a poor life choice be like the best thing that's ever happened to you?
Yes.
Does it have to be negative? Because when I hear, oh, that was a poor life choice, I won $1 million, but that was a poor life choice. I should not have done that. I don't condone that. But yet I am $1 million richer at the end of the day. Like, you know.
Now gambling, selling everything that you own.
I didn't say I was gambling when I got the $1 million.
Oh.
You don't know what I did.
Oh no.
But at the end of the day, I got $1 million.
That could be a very poor life choice.
Like,
that was a poor life choice if I'm...
So, like, I don't know. You leave your apartment, a wizard gives you a ring and goes, go to Watertown, you need to deposit this in a bank account. And you do it, on your way you're having a nice adventure. It's a poor life choice, but yet was the best thing ever at the end of the day.
I could totally get on board with that.
Okay. I don't know. It just, when I hear, oh, that's a poor life choice, it's a bad thing.
Well, you have poor life choices versus bad life choices.
Okay, what is a bad life choice or a bad choice?
Like, things that will get you fired, like getting a tattoo on your face.
Life altering.
Yeah. Like, this is, you cannot go back from this, and this is not going, like, if you drop out of high school and you never get your GED, that's a bad life choice. You're never going to be able to recover from that in a good way. Like, it would be very, very difficult for you to recover from that. Or For some people, getting pregnant at 13 would be that's a bad life choice, because it's hard to make that recovery to make it something that turns around to be positive.
Not to say that. You said it could be.
It could be.
So, we don't condone that.
Right. I never would condone a 13-year-old being like, yes, let's go off and just get pregnant.
So now that we have that understanding, yeah.
What's a poor life choice that you've made recently? Mr. Josh?
Ooh. This is good. I don't know. I don't really do anything. I'm very boring. You're the more adventurous, out there, living every second of your life to the fullest.
Well, yeah.
I'm more of on
how I started,
the snail path, doing nothing, just kind of being like a homebody.
And there's nothing wrong with being a homebody. You can certainly get out and, I don't know. Being a homebody is good.
You can get out.
You can,
but you don't.
Decide not to. And so, I don't know, I was told at one point that there are two types of people, those who do and those who be. And if you are a person who bees, who just not literally does bees, but you are and you're very happy with just being in the moment.
There are those who do.
And those
who sit.
Yes.
And you.
I do.
You do.
I do.
You do.
I do.
You do so much, and I don't so much that's why we're doing this podcast, because I had an idea that she does a lot that I don't. So then
he can evaluate my poor life choices.
Yeah, I think we can all evaluate your life choices.
And say, wow, that was really exciting.
And say, how did you survive?
How did you survive? What made you think that this was a good life choice? Or do I even care if it's a good life choice? Which the answer is no. Right, I go in full on knowing that this is a poor life choice.
Do you? Every time? Every time you're like...
Yes. I do have that
probably
moment.
Shouldn't, but here we go.
Right. It's that whole, adrenaline junkie. If it wasn't exciting, I probably would be like, no. This does not sound like it's me living my life.
You want to juggle fire?
I
probably shouldn't, because I have to work tomorrow. But yes.
Again, the whole, would it get me fired? If I showed up at work...
How would juggling fire get you fired?
If I burned off both of my hands.
It's not a lightsaber.
Oh,
it's just fire.
It's just
you
fire.
would just burn.
No, then I wouldn't get fired. So yes, I would totally learn to juggle fire. I just committed to something that I'm not prepared to do.
If you're a pyromaniac out there...
I guess I'm learning to juggle fire tomorrow.
Email us at askplcpodcast@gmail.com.
That could be exciting.
Could be interesting.
Could be a learning experience.
But
could be a poor life choice.
So going back, I don't really do anything too crazy. That's so sad.
Well, maybe I can start influencing you to start making some poor life choices.
Maybe you do. Yeah, maybe you do.
Not ordering the same thing at all of your restaurants all the time.
Hey!
My father does that. He orders... Every time we go into Olive Garden, it's always, Tour d'Italy. Tour d'Italy. I'm like, Dad, if you order... You are not allowed to order Tour of Italy one more time at Olive Garden. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you ordering the same food every time.
They have other things, Dad.
There are so many other things. And then they got rid of the Tour d'Italy, and his life was ruined. He wouldn't go to Olive Garden until they brought it back, and then they brought a northern and a southern Tour of Italy. Uh-oh. So he had to pick the one that was closest to the original Tour of Italy, and now he orders that all the time.
Look, I just want Italian sausage.
You don't even know what's in a Tour d'Italy!
Because that's not what I order.
No, you order something different, but the same thing every time.
Chicken fettuccine Alfredo.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my goodness. I guess you should also know that I am an accountant, and everyone I work with orders the same thing every single time. and I'm the only one who is like, I feel like this.
I feel like soup and salad today. I feel like just the salad. I feel like lasagna. I feel like ravioli. I feel like tortilli.
So the last day of tax season, we go out to Golden Bowl, the Chinese restaurant, and
Is that any good?
no, it's good.
I've never been
really
there.
good. I mean, I think it's been a tradition at my firm for 18, 20 years, something like that. Every single last day, you'll find us at Golden Bowl for lunch, and these women that I work with, they have literally ordered the same thing every single year for 20 years. But yeah, there's a lot of I'm a person who doesn't want to do the same thing over and over and over again. And
you want to spice up your life, variety.
I want to feel like I'm living. I want to feel like, I've experienced the most out of life. I don't want to arrive safely at death's door and say, wow, well,
there's so much I should have done, could have done, did not do.
There was a Navy slogan years ago. You may have heard of it. If
you
somebody
might get
wrote,
wet.
Yes, I want that to be the Navy slogan. You might get wet. I'm using that.
I'm telling Riley.
Yeah, he's Air Force though.
Where do you think they land?
That's the best slogan.
Air Force, we might fly.
It's not nearly as funny as you might get wet.
Oh God, there's a T-shirt.
I know so many people who would buy that T-shirt.
Sorry, I'm gonna make a note because that's a T-shirt.
But there was a slogan in the Navy that says, if somebody wrote a book about your life, would anyone want to read it?
Oh, I think I've heard that.
And it was a popular slogan, and it was a slogan that made me think a lot, because I think it came out in the 2000s. It was around the time that I was in middle school, high school. And so I was thinking about, well, what do I want to do with my life? What do I want?
Where did you hear that? Did a recruiter come by and
No, it
try
was
to
just
get
on
you hooked?
TV.
Oh, okay.
They had this, I can't remember the actual...
Like a commercial or something?
Right,
Yeah.
it was a commercial, and I can't remember exactly what went on in the commercial, but I do remember them saying, if somebody wrote a book about your life, would anyone want to read it? And I thought, wow. So I remember asking my dad, I was like, Dad, if somebody wrote a book about your life, Dad, would anyone want to read it? And he was like, well, aside from all the drug use, no, somebody would probably want to read it. He's like, I've had such a weird drug-induced life that...
But you were in middle school.
Yeah.
And you were like, would someone want to read about my life?
Yeah.
Who would want to read about a kid's life?
No, how do I want myself? What do I want my life?
You were that adult as a child to get it, to get the real meaning. I would have just gone, nope. Home Improvement's on, whatever.
But really, it's in the same way that people make bucket lists of things that they want to experience before they die.
Right.
It just so happened that made me think about, hey, well, what do I want to do with my life? Where do I want to see? Where do I see myself? What kind of job? Especially since I was middle school, high school.
Middle school.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. You're advanced. Because I didn't start thinking about that till I graduated.
Well,
but there was stuff. But yeah.
But
it's amazing.
No,
you're
I
just
wouldn't
amazing.
Say so. Well, it also made me move from Maine all the way out to South Dakota, and that doesn't take a small amount of planning.
No, it doesn't.
And
you came out here by yourself,
all by myself,
as a middle schooler.
No.
Oh,
but that definitely my thoughts when I was in middle school influenced the rest of my course in life. Mm-hmm. I thought, well, if somebody wrote a book about my life, would someone want to read it? Well, this is the more exciting choice than this one. This is the more risky choice. So this is the one that would create a better story.
you watched Little House on the Prairie and thought South Dakota, that's the place to be? Or...
Actually, no. I knew nothing about South Dakota when I came out here.
Brought you from the coast?
Yeah.
From, like, the tip of the map to the middle of the map, a little further north, like northish middle.
To the middle of nowhere?
I mean, we're pretty...
You're a flyover state.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a mountain. There's a tourist trap. There's another tourist trap at the end of the state. Like, that's it.
That's about it.
There's really not a whole lot going on here.
Right. You're absolutely correct.
So, this is the place to be for Allie.
This was the place for me to be because I had a fantastic high school teacher who moved to Maine from Nebraska. And I wouldn't say that he was a big influence on my life. However, he did say that the schools in Maine are 3 times more expensive than the schools in the Midwest area. There's more jobs in the Midwest area than there are on the coast. And if you're going to travel right after high school, before you get married, before you have kids, before you have things that are holding you down, you need to travel. And so I kind of took all of that he said, which I still believe is absolutely true. And
South Dakota, the Midwest is the place to be?
No, that...
It's cheaper schools?
There's cheaper
more
schools,
jobs.
There's more jobs, and everything outside of Maine. That traveling out of Maine was a good option and is a good thing to do. Because there aren't very many jobs unless you're in healthcare or you're in tourism, lobstering. Unless you have a good prospect for employment, getting out is probably a better option because it's not easy to...
It's like a niche?
Yeah.
Like, unless you have an in somewhere,
yeah,
you're gonna suffer.
It's gonna be harder for you because it's a smaller state, and you have an income tax. It's harder to start up a business there in some ways, and it's very like locals only.
Was it a bad place to be raised in?
No, not at all.
To live in?
No, it's beautiful there. It's gorgeous. There's so much hiking, and there's the ocean, and there's so much to do. But looking at accounting, I was like, all right, what kind of a firm would hire me right out of college? And I said, well, if I would probably end up moving anyway if I got my degree in accounting, because I don't know of any firms in Maine that would accept,
without experience,
right?
Yeah,
which would take me in.
So you'd have to be an
local
intern, then maybe you get a shot, then maybe.
Yep.
Cloudy future,
right?
Where in South Dakota, Midwest, clear skies,
it was totally
sunny,
cloudy there too.
We will accept you.
Well, the opportunities were there.
Yeah.
And even if things crashed and burned here in South Dakota, say I graduated and I really couldn't find anything, I could always go back home and try to figure out something from that perspective. Like, the options are more open, the more doors you open. So I had a lot of doors that I could go through as soon as I graduated, simply because, hey, well, you have a whole bunch of friends in Maine and you have a bunch of friends in South Dakota. So casting your net wide is better than saying, oh, well, I lived in Maine and I graduated in Maine, so I still have the same kinds of friends in the same geographical area, and I am looking for a job in the same geographical area as all my high school friends, all my college friends. No. I would rather have the both.
Just listening to you is just fascinating. And I'm thinking of all the poor life choices I've made so far. Whereas you went to college,
yeah.
I did not. Whereas you moved away from your hometown, I did not. It's amazing. You thought about your future early. I did not. And now here we are sitting at the same table, you and me. Just two different sides of a coin here.
Right. Who moved and who didn't. And really, when you're in high school, what do you think? Like, moving...
girls.
Right. But moving and trying to get away from where you are, where you've grown up, sounds like a really poor life choice. It truly does. It sounds scary.
Depends on where you started. Like, if you're in Iowa, get out. If you're in L.A., Florida, stay.
Right.
Stay a while.
You have more options. You have more doors
Yeah.
that you can go through should something slam shut.
Right. So, yeah, I just, as you talk, I'm like, oh, boy. I do nothing. I have done nothing with my life. And yet I'm still smiling, so that's kind of weird, huh?
No,
all right.
not at all. But and I've had a bunch of, like, my friends from high school, they were like, you're going to go off to South Dakota. Literally a place that you went once. Because I've only, before I came here to live here and go to college, I was at the USD campus, University of South Dakota campus, once for 2 days, like a weekend. And
it seemed nice.
It seemed nice. I didn't realize how small that town was going to feel very quickly, because I was like, oh, okay, I'm here with my dad, and we're going to go home, and it's going to be fine. Everything's fine. And then I got on a bus and took a 53-hour bus ride from Maine to South Dakota, and that was it. Like, I'm stuck here.
Well, not anymore.
No, I can...
You've made it.
I've made it, quote unquote.
Well, you're doing okay.
I'm doing fine.
You're doing good.
Right.
So you're good.
Right.
Better off than some people, not as good as others.
Right.
That are like making movies and actors and stuff.
They made
You're doing
way
good.
more. They made way more planning choices than I did.
Well, their parents made choices for them that led them down the path, probably. Especially if they were a child actor.
I'm sure that everyone... Well, still, then their parents did a lot of planning for them.
Yes, which is nice.
Yeah.
More than my parent did for me.
Right.
But whatever.
I'm sure that there were other things to be concerned about
Well,
than planning.
Yeah, food on the
Food.
table, rent.
Yeah. Heat. Water.
Oh, you don't turn those things on. Don't do that. It
Don't
costs
turn
money.
the water on?
Oh,
That would be a bad deal.
it costs money.
Oh. Explains so much.
Make me out to be the monster. Okay, Belle. It's okay.
It's okay.
Kill the beast. All right. So yeah. So you moved out here.
Yeah. Which some would say is a poor life choice, but you say is
Some.
not.
No.
But it's an adventure. Like, poor life choice, adventure.
Yeah, that would have been an adventure.
It was an adventure.
But a poor life choice can be a bad thing, but it can also be a good thing.
That's what I'm... That's
your flaw. You're making this up. So.
I know. That's what I feel like I'm doing. PLC is totally...
Like, what is a PLC and what isn't? You said something that could hurt your career is
Right.
a bad life choice.
Yes.
Compared to a poor life choice.
Right.
Oh, I shouldn't have gotten... I can't afford this as a poor life choice. Is that okay?
I can't afford this?
Yeah, like, I just got this, I don't know, a Denali pimped out truck. I can't really afford it. That was a poor life choice. Doesn't really affect your career.
Oh,
but it affects
buying
your
too
credit.
much vehicle? Yeah.
Or buying a house that is too much.
Yeah, if you're all of a sudden having to make this adventure into being house poor.
Right. I can't leave because the house
Because I literally...
has me.
Yes.
By the
Sorry.
you-know-whats.
Mm-hmm.
In the front door. It hurts. Help. And I can't get out of it because then I would lose money in the end.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really affect your career or anything like that, but that you would consider that to be bad or poor?
I would if you bought too much house and you... I don't know. Yes, and it's an adventure, but I don't think that most of society would say, oh, buying a house is a poor life choice. Most people would say, that's a good life choice.
What if the house was like run down, fixer-upper
in a bad neighborhood.
In a bad neighborhood.
And yes, that would be a poor life choice.
That's a poor life choice, not a bad one.
No, because it doesn't affect your career. It doesn't affect... You can make it better. Like, So I went on a 5K without any training.
Which is a run.
Which is, yes.
Okay.
I went running for 5 kilometers. Didn't really train for it.
How far is...
It's like 3 miles.
3 miles, okay.
It's 3 miles. And even though I made it to the end of the 3 miles and was ridiculously sore, I still was like, this is a bad life choice. This is a poor life choice.
Not training, not being
training,
prepared,
not preparing for it. And
but
just,
you were smiling at the end
Yeah.
with the chalk or whatever is on your face.
Yep.
Why do they do that? Why is that a thing?
Why is the color run a thing?
No, like is that chalk?
It's cornstarch. It's colored cornstarch.
A lot of people do that. Like a lot of races and stuff do that. How did that become a thing?
I believe, so I know that in India they have Holy Week. And it's like their celebration of spring, that they'll take colored chalk and they'll throw it around as part of, it's like some kind of religious ceremony. That's the only thing that I know anything about. But I don't know how it developed into going on these color runs.
And it's always for like races that happened.
Well, it's because I mean, I guess you could do it at like a rave, or you could do it.
You could do it anywhere.
You could do it,
but
not
you
at work.
See it.
It's not like I'm gonna show up at my job and then just like I sit down in my chair.
Did you just go do a color run? No, it's Wednesday. You know what? Hump day.
In the call
Okay,
center,
Smurf.
they just doused you in cornstarch.
I was the 500th person to walk through the doors.
I walked into Hy-Vee and then bam, have some groceries.
We're so excited. What?
I
don't know. I just saw that. And
after a run, you have to take a shower anyway. Like, no person is like, oh man, I just went on
Let's
a 5K.
go to the bar.
Let's hit the bar. No. Let's take our sweaty, gross clothes and go do things in the adult world. Not so much. You're gonna have to take a shower anyway. You might as well just be
Or
colored.
to go home, take a shower, eat a ton of bananas, and then
make love to my wife. I don't know.
And then I'm gonna take a nap.
Yes, I think that's what I did.
Hashtag Sunday. Oh my gosh. So do you hashtag a lot in your life?
No, I don't. I actually hate hashtags.
But you've created one now.
I have.
Hashtag PLC.
Hashtag PLC. And I think that's a poor life choice in and of itself.
To make a hashtag?
Oh, right.
How is that a poor life choice?
That's really think it's... I don't know if it's a poor life choice or not. But it's certainly not within... It's outside of... It's an adventure. Therefore... Because it's something that I've never used hashtags. I've always spelled out, like, the word hashtag...
Instead of using the symbol?
Right, instead of using the symbol, because I think that I don't understand it, therefore I mock it. And now that I've jumped into this world of hashtags and trying to figure out what the heck a hashtag is, and, I hashtagged PLC, what did I just do? What have I done? Why is this? So, until I actually know what it's about, maybe jumping into things that you have no experience with might be considered part of being a poor life choice. Getting in over your head.
Like, I don't know.
Moving to South Dakota. Parachuting. Jumping out of an airplane.
Why would anyone jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
Well...
Like, it's flying. It's not on fire. There's no smoke. Why bust that door open and then leap from said airplane?
You don't leap until you're... No!
Well, I'm sure someone's going to go, no, go, and then you jump, but... Because you do jump, right?
When you're high enough level, yes.
Well, yeah. Not like, we just left the runway. Splats.
Abandoned ship.
Something's gone terribly wrong.
No, and by
Sully? I know.
Level or whatever, I mean when you have increased in experience, like you get experience points when you're a skydiver.
So when you level up, like it's a video game.
When you're at a high enough level, then yes, you can jump out of the plane by yourself.
How many stars does she have? 4. How many do you have? 1. You go first.
Actually, the one person with 1 star would go
Really?
first. Yep.
There's actually a star system?
No, it's not a star
system.
system.
Okay.
It's a grading system, and so you go from, I think it's, I don't know.
Is it like the jumpsuit color you wear?
No.
That shows your experience level?
It's in your logbook. So you have
so you show them...
Yeah, how many jumps you have, and what you've passed, and
so you could fudge the numbers?
No.
Oh.
That's like...
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Because...
That's like very...
Bad.
That's very bad. You'll lose
Oh,
your
I see.
license.
You have so much experience you could do the halo jump by yourself. Look at this. All right, go on up.
Yeah, if you faked a logbook, that would be really bad.
They didn't catch it till you were in the air.
That would still be really bad.
They would just tell the pilot to come on back down, probably.
Well, they might still let you jump.
And as you descend, you go, oh, they're on me. Jump.
I don't know.
Does the pilot control the door?
No.
You can just pop it and go yourself?
No, the jump master does. So
Jump master.
Yes.
Jump master C. Coming to you live. We're going to do this. We're about to jump out of this perfectly good airplane with our little parachutes.
He's your
hopefully.
instructor. He's the guy who's in charge of...
It's like a DJ.
Yes.
Jump master. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Jump Master Jimmy here with you today. We're going to jump
Master
onto...
Skelly was my Jump Master.
Skelly.
Sketty.
Like spaghetti.
Like spaghetti.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eminem's back.
Jump Master Sketty.
Jump Master Sketty. I'm a sweaty. Gonna jump out of this hizzy for shizzy. Oh my god.
And then I had Jump Master Link for my first jump.
Link?
Link.
Like from Zelda?
Like, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep, we got some pretty cool Jump Masters. But you have to follow their instructions.
Or...
Or you don't get to jump, or you're not allowed...
some would be like, I'm okay with that.
There's one guy who jumps with us, and he wasn't obeying the Jump Master. He was pulling at ridiculously low altitudes.
He wouldn't pull until he was...
Your hard deck is 2,500 feet.
No,
period.
what is hard deck for those of us who don't jump out of airplanes? Because you actually do. I do not.
Yes, I do.
So
I've done it twice, that's why I don't know everything about it.
Right.
But hard deck
is
why
I'm making
your
so much fun.
Your final decision point. Like, you have to have a canopy over your head that is flyable, it's controllable. It is a good canopy. It's a good parachute that you're able to fly and you feel comfortable with.
So if you go below this invisible line in the sky, you won't be walking away.
You are going to be in trouble. Like, shit could go bad. You might not be able to have enough time to land it properly.
To slow yourself.
Before
down. You meet the ground.
Right. And that might, and again, I'm a student, so it might be 2,000 feet. It might be less than that.
So you're saying your experience goes up, the hard deck can go down.
Yeah.
Because, they're doing a trick or something. They'll be fine.
They know they have a different parachute. Are there
different styles?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep, there are different styles of parachutes.
Oh,
like,
wow.
the parachute that I jump as a student is different than the emergency parachute.
Right.
I have 9 end cell. I have 9, basically, end cell closures. So, the different pockets that hold the air, I have 9 of them. Whereas, if I pulled the emergency chute, that only has 7. 7 makes it a little bit harder to control. Like, it's harder to steer when you're coming down.
And it's
but
smaller.
it's safer. No, it's not. It's not smaller.
Oh.
It's just the enclosures are larger.
Oh, okay.
Which means that it's considered better. But
so why not just use the better one?
Because it's harder to steer. You want to have fun, don't you? Like, if you're falling out of an airplane.
If I'm paying for this, I want to go higher so it lasts longer, and I want I want the biggest one, just to make sure I survive.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
It's easier as a student. It's easier to pilot. Like, it's easier to make sure that you get down to the ground if you have an easier to pilot one. I haven't had to pull my emergency chute yet. I'm pretty excited by that, because that means that I haven't had to make any decisions where my life was in danger.
You don't want that.
Not really.
Really?
Like, if I hit my like 5 1000 and look 1000 and I still don't have a parachute over my head, I might freak out a lot. So when you...
Well, I hope you would pull. Like, are there anyone that just jump out and then just start yanking because they're so scared?
Probably.
Like, I need this now. Like, pull the emergency and the main one just at the same time. Just please open. What would happen if they both opened?
Then, well, you can. Well, if you don't want to have two. Yeah. It spirals.
You die.
It can become really bad. I know that my instructor, Sketty, was saying that he has seen someone fly 2 parachutes down, but they knew what they were doing.
Oh, really?
He said that he would never do it. He would always cut away his main chute and just fly the emergency down, because the emergency is attached. Like, it's attached to you.
Right.
Whereas the other one, you can just release it, and it's gone.
Pulling the emergency wouldn't automatically detach
it
the
does.
main... Oh, okay.
It does, but if it wouldn't, for some reason, if that malfunctioned and you're flying 2 canopies, you either get an option of, do I cut it away?
Like with a knife?
No, you pull another release.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff to pull.
There's a lot of stuff.
Hopefully not your leg harness straps. Like, you're just pulling everything, and then you undo one of your leg harness. Ah! No, bad day. Wrong one. Poor life choice. Hashtag. Like, you're in the air falling, going, hashtag PLC, not the leg harness, send, put the phone back.
And then pray?
Yeah, because
on the student harness, the emergency chute, there's normally two levers. There's 2 pulls that you would have. One to actually deploy your emergency chute, and the other one to
And they're
cut
like
away.
on your chest.
Yep. Everything is on your at least everything that I've seen is on my chest.
There's not one
There's
down
one
by your
here when you
kidneys?
can actually pull. Like when you're actually pulling your canopy. I have never had to pull a canopy. I've never had to pull it.
Right.
All I've done is just jumped out of an airplane. And the chute's deployed. Because it's attached to the plane. And as long as I'm away from the plane, it's going to deploy. Which gravity is helping in a lot of fashions for that.
Yes. Yeah, I would, yep.
I didn't realize how much I respected gravity until I jumped out of the plane. Like, gravity, I have a major respect point.
Yeah, I'm already there because I'm kind of a heavier set guy, so...
Gravity
and I know a lot. Like, it has hold. I don't fly. I don't jump. I don't leave the ground. It likes me.
Gravity and you are best buds.
I don't try to, like, tempt it by, like, monkey barring anything or hanging up. No, because when I come crashing down...
I don't know if I could do monkey bars.
You could.
I'm thinking.
I can't.
I don't think I can.
What? Unless it's... Instead of, if you go singular instead of plural, then I could. Monkey bar?
Oh, yeah, I could definitely hold a monkey bar. I don't know if I could do... I can't do a pull-up. I know I can't do a pull-up or a chin-up.
What?
No, I can't.
But you can, like, bike ride.
Yeah.
Like,
I try to
Tour
bike
de France,
60 miles a week. Yep, I try to bike 60 miles a week.
Holy moly. That's not
But that has nothing to do with my arms. That is all leg strength.
60 miles. It's like...
That's 3 times around the bike path here in Sioux Falls.
I can't make it. I want to do that. That's like one of my goals throughout like my whole life is to do the bike path in a day. I could probably do that.
Yeah, easily. It takes me an hour and a half.
Yeah, it'd take me a day.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, walk or bike or
yes.
rollerblade or whatever.
It's all just small. I mean, you have a bike, right?
I have a bike.
I lost 40 pounds biking.
Yeah, no, that's my plan. Is to lose weight while biking.
Super nice.
I know. But if it's like super hot outside, then I look like Swamp Thing on a bike.
Okay.
Just like nasty.
So, do you really think that everyone out there on the bike trail is going to be like, ugh? You should do it. You should invite me out.
Oh, you would be like, I passed you twice on the bike.
No, I would go super slow. I would shift down to first gear.
You would have to.
I would just be. My legs would be on fire just to like keep up with how slow you are.
Have you ever played Pokemon on the Game Boy?
Yeah.
As a child, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when you got your bike and like him doing his little biking?
Yep.
He goes back and forth and his feet do the pedal thing, and he's going faster than walking, but for game, not so fast.
No.
Like, that's kind of like what I think I look like if I got on a bike right now. I'd be bike would go left to right, my legs would go up and down, and you would be like Sonic the Hedgehog, just right on by. Or something. Even if you were slow, you'd be like Sonic's feet, but yet going the same speed I am.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It would be hilarious.
Do it. That'd be horrible.
Do it.
Oh.
That would almost be a poor life choice, but not really.
That's not really a poor life choice.
No, because it's helping you get out and actually do things.
Weird.
Oh, right. I'm a terrible influence. But I still need arm day. Because I'm obviously failing at arm day. I have leg day. I have leg week. My life is...
You have legs.
I have legs, and that's it.
No,
sorry, abs.
That's not it.
Sorry, abdominals. We don't need you. Sorry, back. We don't need that.
Biking doesn't work your abs, really?
Not really.
Really?
I mean, it works... In some fashion, it does work most of the muscles in your body,
at least
but it's
the
not.
side.
It's not as good as actually working them out.
Right.
Because you're in a push-up position the entire time that you're biking. So yes, your arms are being... You're
or
using
like
your
a
arms
curl.
Right. To hold yourself up.
Yeah, your arms are just kind of holding onto the bars, so they're not really being worked.
Yeah.
Your legs are being worked a lot.
Right.
And I would think your core would help you stay
balance.
On.
But it's not like it's a direct... It's not like a sit-up, which would directly influence it.
Yeah. That was a pretty good tangent. What were we talking about?
I can't remember.
Poor life choices.
Skydiving, biking.
I asked you why would anyone would jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
Yeah.
So do you enjoy
jumping out of perfectly good airplanes?
Parachuting?
I enjoy I love piloting canopies. That's been my favorite part. The falling.
You mean when the chute's up and out, you have the handle thingies, yeah, and you're just sailing.
Yes.
That's what you like.
I really love. Because you actually get a chance to see what's out there, and yeah, that's what I really like. And I'm planning on going again on Tuesday, if the weather cooperates. I'm planning on jumping once a week.
Expensive.
No.
Not really?
No. So your first jump, including the class and a t-shirt and...
Oh, of course, t-shirt.
Of course. You gotta get a t-shirt. Everything where I jump is $225. So that first class is expensive, yeah.
Okay.
And then every jump afterwards is $60.
Oh.
Which is actually pretty reasonable.
For jumping out of an airplane, not bad.
Right.
I mean, I assumed hundreds of dollars, a therapy session, every session.
Nope.
$200, please.
Nope. No, it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
That's eating out for me, that's eating out every single day. And I don't eat out every single day. So if I just don't do that, if I don't eat out, if I go hang out at the hangar and do other stuff, hang out with people on the cheap, play board games, then I can totally afford $60 a week.
Podcast.
And then if I actually become a member of the club, then it drops down to $17. And
$17.
$17
Cool.
to jump out of
Wow.
And you start making money because you can start packing, which is, so after your chute deploys, someone has to put the chute back in the backpack.
Right.
And you can make money by putting student packs away.
Oh.
And repacking chutes.
Once you're a member.
Yep.
You can work for them.
Yep. You can start working.
Now, is it a large crew or group, or is it a large club?
I don't think it's super large.
Because weren't you saying there was 10 jumps on the day you jumped last? The last day you jumped, there was 10...
10 tandems.
And a tandem is...
an instructor jumping with you.
Oh.
When you're attached to their stomach.
Oh, right. You're groin level, the kangaroo style.
Yep. You're like a Joey. Going along with the ride on your little kangaroo friend.
Do I pull it now?
My friend Mike would be so excited. No, you don't do anything.
Oh, okay.
You just experience life.
I scream?
Yes.
Okay, I can do that.
And you attempt not to throw up on them.
Oh, I don't know about that. No promises, Joey. I had a large... Oh, no one said anything about an airplane. I don't do so well in airplanes. Who brought this guy?
My friend Mike would just die because my one of the instructors, Mike, he does stand-up jumps and he's never been puked on yet. Yet. My friend Becca was trying to get me to tandem with him so that I would throw up on him, and I said, no, I'm just going to static line jump, sorry.
Did you ever throw up?
No. My friend Steven nearly did.
Nearly?
Nearly. He was very, very pale, very green, very nervous.
Before or after he landed?
Before. He was so nervous. It was so hilarious.
Well, I mean, if it's your first time, then yeah, nerves.
Nerves are a real thing.
Oh, yeah. Did you get nervous your first time?
Yes.
Was it worse or better than, like, public speaking?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Are you a good public speaker?
No. Well,
really?
I don't consider myself...
You seem to have, like, the personality that you could make friends with anyone. You can get along with most people. Like...
I can, but...
You seem like you would have that type of personality where, like, all right, we're going to learn about whatever.
Exactly, that's the problem. It's the learn about whatever part.
I'm going to teach you about accounting. Like, if you had to do a seminar on your job, you could probably pull that off.
Yeah, I could do that.
Because you know the subject matter and
interacting with people, reading the audience, learning all of those things. Yeah, but it's still making sure that...
The information is correct?
Right, making sure that the information is correct. Like, I know enough about skydiving to be dangerous, and not even enough to be really dangerous. Like, when we were talking about pulling the emergency chute, I'm trying to go through my brain as for, like, okay, all of these different ideas, but I don't know if what I'm saying is absolutely 100% correct. That's the scary part, is saying, like, well, what if I'm asked a question that I don't know all of the answers to?
During skydiving or accounting?
During speaking, like public speaking. Like, how do I react when something is thrown at me that I'm not prepared for? And that whole preparedness and trying to be a prepared person. Because yes, I can totally get along with people, and that's not difficult for me. But it's having that knowledge behind what just this friendly face. That's the challenge.
Having knowledge behind the friendly face is... You're very knowledgeable.
I'm very knowledgeable, but am I absolutely knowledgeable about the thing that I would be speaking on? Maybe, maybe not. And remembering... Why
would you speak on something you don't know much about?
Because you're taking a speech class in college and you said that you were going to prepare for it and you didn't. And then all of a sudden you're up in front of them and you're talking about flood insurance and you're like, I know a little bit. Can I have some note cards? Because I have some points that I'd like to talk to you about, but I can't for the life of me remember what they are.
Sounds like you've lived that.
Procrastination is a...
Is it?
Don't do it.
Yeah. It's not a good thing when you procrastinate. Yeah. So the takeaway from this episode is do not procrastinate.
Planning. Planning is a positive thing.
So do you think that when you are older, elderly, and you look back on your life, you'll be like, yeah, I don't regret anything?
I think the things that I would regret are the things that I didn't jump at. Like the risks that I didn't take.
Wait, you are the risk taker, the poor life choice maker.
Yeah.
Master.
Maybe.
And you think that you would still regret the things you did not do?
Yes.
What haven't you done that you want to do? Or are you thinking there's something in the future that might come along?
Oh, there's definitely going to be something in the future.
Where you're like, this one I'll pass. Yeah. And then so there's not much on your list as a grandma or elderly person that you would be like, it'd probably be a handful of things that you would regret not doing.
But
whereas me, it's a Christmas list from like Amazon.com, just like pages of pages. Oh, you know that girl back in 2009? Yeah, you probably should have talked to her. This one.
I mean, you miss 100% of the chances that you don't take.
Okay, fortune cookie.
Oh, right? I is our fortune cookie.
Oh, good job, Debbie. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, I'll stop.
I would hope that when I'm older and I'm too old to make poor life choices any longer, that I will say I'll either have changed my level of poor life choices down to tomorrow I'm going to play 6 bingo cards instead of 3.
That's a regret?
No, that would be my poor life choice, is to put down more money in bingo.
Oh.
Or...
for a chance to win.
Right.
Because you can win a lot of money at bingo.
That is true.
Some places.
I would hope that my poor life choices would change from jumping out of airplanes to something that is
less
different, risky.
Risky?
Or I'm independently wealthy, hopefully, dreams, right? And I could either invest in this company, this startup, or put it into a mutual fund. And I would hope that I would say, well, I trust this startup. I really want this. This is something that I'm passionate about. This is a risk that I'm willing to take. I would hope that older Allie is going to jump into the startup or start up her own business or take that wild risk.
What business would you want to start? Like your own accounting business or something?
I mean, if I'm retired, because I wouldn't really want to start up my own business until I actually had like capital to start it up.
Right.
But, which is probably a mistake. However, I would like to open a cafe. I'd either like to open a cafe, and I think that would be like a books and cafe, or I'd like to become a teacher. I think those are my 2 retirement plans.
A teacher of
Middle school?
Middle school?
Or open up like an after school activity.
Class
Group.
Like history, art,
math.
Science, math?
Yeah.
Really? Oh yeah, you're an accountant. That makes
Right.
sense, I guess, yeah.
And I remember going through middle school and high school and struggling with math. And I remember hating math so much and feeling that it was just like the worst subject on earth.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that, if I go out and I'm saying, hey, I hated math too when I was your age. I get it. I understand. These are the ways that I can make this more enjoyable for you so that you can make it through this class without hating it nearly as much as I did. That would be a dream.
I couldn't do it because I find like kids nowadays to be kind of snotty and like disrespectful and
every generation has thought that about the previous or the prior or the next generation.
I feel like an old man saying that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think it's getting worse.
Every generation thinks that the generation after them is going to ruin the world. And guess what? It's usually the generation previous that has ruined the world for us. And we're just snotty because we're upset about it because we just inherited a mess.
So, world ruined. Check. So, there you go.
Poor life choice.
Poor life.
And really,
awesome.
I mean, take all the risks you can because who knows? The world might be exploding in the next couple of weeks. We never know.
Well, you never know, yeah.
Anything is possible now.
What is it? The present's called the present because it's a gift or something? What was that quote? There's a quote out there, tomorrow's not promised, and the present is spelt like a present because it's a gift. So you should be appreciative for every moment you have.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Live every moment.
Carpe diem.
Faux show.
I don't know, is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I'd really like to hear what other people have to say about what they think a poor life choice is versus a bad life choice.
You would.
And is there a difference?
All
I don't
right.
know. Thoughts out there would be nice.
You would like people to write in?
Yeah. If they could write in, or if they could use the hashtag PLC, so
on
we can
Facebook
on
or
Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. Maybe eventually I'll be on Twitter.
Okay, so on Facebook, hashtag PLC.
And we can take a look at them, and we can evaluate them, and make comments and.
Well, let's just read them and then see what happens from there.
Yeah.
We're not going to be like, you might be flambéed on here by 2 people you don't know.
That's true.
The internet's pretty cool,
So is the
but it
world.
can be pretty dark in places. But yeah, if you want to get in contact with us and write us your stories and ask us for advice about is this a bad life choice or is this a poor life choice?
Yeah.
And also tell us what you think a poor life choice versus a bad life choice is. You can do that online on Gmail. It's askplcpodcast at gmail.com. That's askplcpodcast at gmail.com.